Hello, all you beautiful people. How are you guys doing? So for today's video, I'm just gonna be talking about something that's going on in the Genshin community, particularly when it's talking about Sumeru. So let's go and talk about that. Alright, so to start this off, I guess I'll just introduce kind of myself. As you can see, I'm a brown man. You can see the brownness on my skin, maybe not so much with the lighting around here. But yeah, my parents are from India. I'm Indian. I'm an Indian man, just so to make that clear. But anyway, so, Sumeru leaks dropped, and of course, as leaks do, it showed a bunch of the characters. That's what people love to talk about, right? A bunch of the characters. So many characters dropped. If you guys don't like leaks real quick, I am going to show an image of the characters that did come out. So if you don't want to see them, look away from the video for a hot second, close the tab, whatever, what have you, because they're popping up right now. So these are all the characters that got released. And as you notice, only one is like dark skin, tan, brown, whatever you want to say. Only one character like that. And by the way, I think that character looks the best in my opinion. So that's kind of the issue right now, right? The issue, the problem, what people having a problem about is Sumeru is based on Middle Eastern and South Asian cultures, and the characters so far that are from Sumeru, they don't look like that. They don't look like they are. So, my opinion. What is my opinion right now? My opinion is mostly that, it is weird. I do think it would be good if they introduce more brown, tan, dark skin, whatever characters for Sumeru. And 3, and this is the most important, I am giving them the benefit of the doubt because they have not, MiHoYo, Genshin, whatever you want to say, they have not officially put out anything for Sumeru except for a tiny little trailer at the end of 2.8. And that trailer at the end of 2.8, it was just like environments. It was just environments for Sumeru. Here are all the cool jungle, forest environments for it. That's kind of my main thing right now. Is that I do think it's weird, but I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because they have not presented to us what they want to present to us about Sumeru. Officially, right? This is all from leaks, and I know, Genshin leaks are very trusted resources, most of the times they are correct, but these, at the end of the day, are leaks, right? They are leaks. This is not how MiHoYo wanted to present these characters to us, Now, something like this has kind of happened before. I'm going to give an example to you guys. If this example doesn't quite work out, I might take it out of the video, but I think it has the idea that I'm trying to convey to you guys. So, when Raiden was first coming out, or where she was gonna come out, Raiden Shogun, her design got leaked. Same kind of concept, right? And a design getting leaked. Her design got leaked, and people did not like it. People said it was boring, or whatever, what have you, etc. And then, when she had her first trailer officially released by MiHoYo, they loved her. They loved the trailer, they loved the presentation of this character, everything like that, Bulbasaur, all that good stuff, right? And then people liked that. And that's kind of what I'm trying to say. I know there's like a big difference between media fact, there's a difference between like how a character is presented. The problem is their initial design. I understand. I'm just saying the concept of this is how it is presented to us as a leak, and this is how it is presented to us officially by Hoyoverse, MiHoYo, whatever. I think I've been saying MiHoYo just because I'm so used to it, but it's Hoyoverse, right? There's a major difference between those two, and that's why I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. But, and there's a big but, based on what we've seen so far, it is weird. I do think it is weird. Do I think it's racist? I don't think I'd go that far. Like, me personally, would I go far as to say that MiHoYo is being racist? No, I don't think so. Not at all. I think it's weird. I think when it comes to like racism, that's like more like if they're being like outwardly offensive, if they're being like outwardly like, malicious in their intention. I don't think any of this is malicious. I don't think any of this is in, them negatively wanting to do this, or like, to censor brown people or whatever. I don't think it's any of that. I don't think it's any of that. I think it's weird though. I think it's weird because, you can't. The best point I heard when people were kind of talking about this, aside from the memes of just like, oh, MiHoYo is afraid of the color brown, or afraid of like the color spectrum thing. You have the color spectrum. I'm probably gonna put that in the thumbnail. The best point that I heard was that you can't take the culture and not include the people, and that is 100 million billion% correct. You can't take the culture like these Middle Eastern or Southern Asian countries, right, or places or whatever, right, and not include the people that would be there for those cultures or be represented by those cultures, because the people are the culture, right? You know, these people are represented by their culture, so it would make sense to put those type of people in that type of area. One thing I haven't heard being mentioned, at least with the playable characters, is that Sumeru is a big, like, educational place, right? It's, you know, is the land of wisdom or whatever, and one of the biggest thing there is Sumeru, the academy, Sumeru Academia. I don't know if it's, like, actually has, like, the school actually has a place, or is it multiple schools? I'm not 100% on the lore for Sumeru, but it is a big place for education, and one of the big things that come about that, right, you know, is foreigners coming to visit for educational purposes. So maybe this is what we're seeing. Maybe we're seeing a bunch of characters who are just going to academia, who are going to universities or whatever at Sumeru, and they have traveled here from other places, right? Traveled here from, you know, Mondstadt, Liyue, Inazuma, Fontaine, whatever, what have you. You know, they're talking about big things with Fontaine recently, because Sumeru's coming out, so they're kind of teasing Fontaine now. Maybe you have a lot of characters from Fontaine actually in Sumeru, you know, for educational purposes. You know, I think that makes sense. Again, I think the problem is when it comes to the amount. There are a lot of light-skinned characters right here, and you know, not to rag on them either. I think that all of the designs are great. I think, you know, they are absolutely fantastic, and they're characters that should be liked and should be loved, for sure. But it is weird, and I think that is my main thing, is that it is weird that there's not that many dark-skinned characters. And it's not like MiHoYo hates dark-skinned characters, right? Like Kaya, right? Like, we have a couple of pullable characters that are dark-skinned characters. Kaya is one, Xinyang is another, and they're beloved characters, you know? Kaya's like one of people's first characters that I really like a lot. Really fun to play, cool combos, really cool ultimate that's still usable to this day. Xinyang, yeah, she has other problems, but there's other characters that have that have problems. Yeah, I think she could do a couple things, and you know, at the end of the day, Genshin's an easy game, so you can play with any character. Her story quests are really good too, especially when she, like, you know, playing the guitar and all those remixes that she specifically makes. Anyway, I'm going on tangents. The point. Let's get back to the point. The point is, and this is like I reiterate the point. Is that we have 3.0 isn't here yet. I think that's the biggest point. Is that 3.0 isn't here yet. Hoyoverse has time. Hoyoverse has time. I know a lot of people were saying, like, oh, all the NPCs are out. I think I saw like a couple comments about that. Like, all the NPCs are out too, and they look a certain way. But I think Hoyoverse has time. Hoyoverse has time, and I do think that it would be a good idea for them to include more dark-skinned characters, again, if they're going to use the culture of Middle Eastern and South Asian countries, because predominantly there's a lot of dark-skinned people there. Of course, I know there's a lot of lighter-skinned people there, you know, but predominantly is more darker skinned people. So I do think it would be a very, very good idea if they do include more darker skinned characters, or predominantly more darker skinned characters in this area, because it would be a good representation of that culture that they're trying to show. If they don't do it, will I get pissed off and will I get angry? No, you know, I still love this game. I still love the developers. I still enjoy this game. It's a very fun game for me to play. I love the characters. I love the story. I love the lore. There's so much I love about this game that if they don't do this one thing, it's not going to make me suddenly hate the game. Like, for me, that just doesn't make sense. There's too much I love about this game to suddenly hate it because they don't do one thing that I would prefer. Oh yeah, man. Maybe I'll put this early in the video. So one of the reasons why I think this would be a good idea, because like me personally, I've really never, not too many times, a couple of times have seen like Indian culture being represented in like video games. The only thing I can really think of is like Overwatch with like Symmetra, and you know, that's its own kettle of fish because that character is a weird character in that game, like gameplay wise. But whenever she does things that relate to Indian culture or something like that, like I just kind of like do a mini pop off and it's like, yeah, I know that reference, or I get the, I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, what is it? I can only imagine like a lot of people point to like Yunjin. I think I'm saying her name right. Yunjin, the character that's based on like Chinese opera, the Chinese opera character. I'm sure a lot of people who are just like, you know, that resonated with them were just like, yo, that's really cool that they represented that, and it makes sense for them to, you know, represent Chinese culture in such an accurate, really cool way because it is a Chinese-based company. So I think it'd be really cool if they took the time to do some like research and like look up things about the countries that are being represented in Sumeru, and show that off not only in the area and the environment that they're in, but also show it off in the characters too, because the characters are the heart and soul of this game. Like me specifically, like if I saw a character from Sumeru do like the Indian little head wiggle thing. I can't do it right because like I've barely delved into Indian culture, but I know that head wiggle thing is a thing. Even if I don't do it, I've seen my aunties and uncles do it, and if I see a Sumeru character do that, I 100%, million% am popping off. That is amazing, and I'm pulling that character immediately. All right, let's wrap this up here. I think I've rambled on enough. So again, getting to the point of it all is that so far based on the leaks it looks like there's not that many dark skin or brown characters. Am I gonna hate miHoYo because of that? Like if that comes to fruition and we go to Sumeru and it's a bunch of light-skinned people and a bunch of pullable characters are a bunch of light-skinned characters, am I gonna hate miHoYo? No, I love the game, I love these characters, I'm still gonna continue to love the game because that's just who I am. That's just the type of person I am. I just like this game. I love this game. Would I think it would be better if they introduced a bunch of dark skin characters, especially if they're gonna use the cultures that would have those people? Yeah, I think it would be really awesome, and I think it would be really positive and a really good thing if they did do that. I think it would be a really, really, really good thing. But again, I'm not gonna hate them if they don't do it. But I highly encourage them to do it because I would be really, really happy, and I do think it would be super beneficial for them to do that. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me in the comments what you think. Have yourselves a fantastic day, and peace out.